Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Christy Faith. Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? It's good to see you guys. Hi, come on in. I'm here to answer all of your homeschooling questions. Hi, who just came? Introduce yourself. Let me know who you are. I'm Christy Faith. I'm here to answer any educational questions you have, any homeschooling questions. I'd love to know if you are on the fence with homeschooling and you have questions to ask me tonight. This is one of the reasons why I come on live is for free. People can ask me like, I'm thinking about homeschooling, but it's just so scary, or what about socialization, or how do I make sure my kid's not behind? All those questions it's one of the reasons why I go live, so I can offer you those answers for free. Hi, come on in, everybody. Hi, it's Christy Faith. Come on in. We're going live tonight. How is everybody? It's so good to see you. I am here with you. I have my coffee. I put a big whipped cream. Get your coffee and spend the evening with me. I have my coffee, I have my water, and we're all set. Hi, let me know who you are. Introduce yourself if you're coming in. Let me know how many kids you have. Do you have questions about homeschooling or educating your kids or anything like that? It's so good to see you. I think I see some friends. Okay, Christy Crawford, you are homeschooling this fall, 4, 6, and 8. Oh, that's so wonderful. Have your kids been mainstreamed the whole time in a conventional school? I'd love to know. Please, before people start coming in, you're first. So it does get a little bit crazy on my live, so I'd like to be able to answer any question you have first. Hi, Jennifer. I can tell you when I started cursive, I start cursive first. I start cursive before manuscript. Now, here's the thing. With my 20 years of education, I'm going to tell you, Jennifer, it is not a hill to die on. How I ended up doing cursive first with all my kids is I did not do it first with my first child. My first child really struggled with handwriting, even though I was using the best handwriting program on the market. You guys probably know what it is. And he was really struggling with spacing and reversals. And just because your kid does reversals of B and D, don't jump and think your kids are dyslexic, okay? Don't do that. Reversals are very normal. But it was a real struggle for him, and he was so advanced in other areas. And I'm like, I wonder if I switched to cursive, how he would do. Well, he did amazing. And then I started to read some stuff on cursive versus manuscript, and I just thought, we're going to go cursive. You can't go wrong. And it's been a really good decision for our family. But it's not a hill to die on whatsoever. So don't sweat over it. But I did start manuscript with my oldest, and my 3 behind him only know cursive. They actually are still so young, they don't even know how to write in manuscript yet. So any question? I know it's kind of controversial, right? Yeah.
Fire Christian Academy. Her name's Christy Fogo, leader of the Homeschool Academy. I have a student who has a hard time focusing on her schoolwork and having trouble getting her Bible reading elective completed. My cousin was mainstreamed from pre-K to 5th grade. So I think she had a question about reading.
Oh, do you have a child who is struggling with their phonics or their comprehension?
She's over on YouTube.
Okay, and you're over. Hi, YouTube. By the way, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok tonight. So hi. Can you answer and let me know if the reading struggles you're referring to are phonics based, like learning to read, or if you're talking about comprehension? Because those are 2 separate different animals. Yeah.
Cindy asks, let's talk reading. I have a 1st grader struggling. They tried to say dyslexia, but I don't think so.
A 1st grader struggling, and they tried to say dyslexia, and you aren't sure. Hi, Katie. Oh my goodness. Katie, I didn't realize I was getting little dings on my phone. Katie just joined the group. Katie, are you on here tonight, by the way? Katie, are you here? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I do think 1st grade is a little bit young to jump to conclusions about your child has this diagnosis, that diagnosis. The other thing that's a red flag to me is you can have indicators that there may be something going on with your child's learning, but your child needs to be tested in order for a proper diagnosis to be given. And you can do that through the public schools, but I prefer private testing. I know that's pricey, and I'm so sorry to say that out loud. But I much prefer private testing done by educational psychologists. It's just more thorough and it's better. And because you are the client, they're not in the business of underdiagnosing kids, right? Because as soon as a child has a learning disability, then they're thrown on an IEP, and that is now a legal document, and schools do not want to have a bunch of kids on IEPs. So I hope hang on. I want to make sure that I satisfied you with my answer. So please follow up. Don't leave, because I'm staying here until you're happy and you have a path. Okay.
She just followed up.
Yeah.
I pulled him out. I just think they were moving too fast for him.
Yeah.
And he's excelling at home.
Oh my goodness. That is so amazing. He's excelling at home. That's awesome. Now, the one thing that I will say, because we taught reading remediation at our center for many, many years, is make sure whatever program you're using, that it is an Orton Gillingham-based program, which is basically a fancy way of saying phonics. So something like Logic of English, All About Reading, Barton, Pinwheels, those are fantastic ones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and are you in my group? If you're not, you should be, because we talk about all this stuff all the time on my Zooms. Okay, let's see. Oh, hi, Kayla's here tonight. Kayla's in my group. Hi, Kayla. Did you see I posted the schedule? Are you coming to Bunko tomorrow? I want to know. I love that Kayla's always on my lives. I feel like I have a friend, because often the lives are total strangers, which I love you too. But hi, Kayla. I hope you're having a good night.
Cindy asked, what is the group? I'd love to join.
Yes. Hi, Cindy. Yes. So I have a community called Thrive Homeschool Community, and you should check it out. So I don't know if you know my background, but I've been in education for over 20 years in academics, K to college. I've spent my days basically solving the problems that kids had in schools, and we did that privately. You can go and read my bio, but I have an amazing community called Thrive Homeschool Community, where I feed you, I mentor you, I take care of you, and that is my calling in life. And starting this group and leading this group has been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. So if you guys are interested, you can click the button right on my bio, and you can find out everything you need to know. You can basically, I have my bio in there. I have all the questions that you could possibly ask. I have everything in there for you. Or ask someone here tonight, like Kayla's in my group. You can ask her what she thinks of it. Yeah.
Kelsey says, hi there.
Hi, Kelsey.
I resent taking public school and was curious about the homeschool experience in comparison.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here tonight. So hang on and grab a coffee. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is I offer a 26-page free, totally free, how to homeschool guide. Grab it. It's free. It's 26 pages. It gives you a fantastic window into not only what life is like for us, but also how to start. So I want to encourage you, and then ask any questions. Is there anyone here who's on the fence? Curious? Do you have a spouse who maybe isn't supportive? Are you scared to start? Let me know if you have kids that are just struggling right now, because I want to let you know. Here, look at me right now. Anytime is the right time to take your child out of school if that's what you're supposed to do for your family. You don't need to wait for the next semester. You don't need to wait for the next whatever. You don't even need to wait till next year. Some people need to, because they're lining up job stuff and getting things set up. But you know what? If you're in a position and your child's miserable, now is the best time. I consider homeschooling a lot like laundry. I always tell myself, when is the best time to do laundry? Now. It really helps me, because I actually stay on top of my laundry, even though I hate doing it. Yes. Oh my goodness. Someone's asking me about living books.
Oh, cool.
I love living books. Yeah. So I do have a Shmamashmom page, and it has a bunch of living books on there. By the way, you don't have to buy books from me or on my page. People make 2 cents. I really put it up there so that there would be a book list. So go and check that out. Yeah. Question.
Christy says, hoping to de-school during the summer. Do you recommend 2-day co-op or 1-day or other resources?
Okay. You mean, so you're going to de-school over the summer, and then when the fall starts, you're wondering if you should do a 2-day-a-week co-op or a 1-day-a-week co-op? It really depends on what the co-op is offering and what type of a schedule you want to have. So here's the thing about doing a co-op that's more than 1 day a week. A lot of the homeschool curricula available to us, they run on a 4 or 5 day a week schedule, so it can be really hard. You might feel behind all the time if you're in a 2-day a week co-op. Now, the one exception is, at least here in Colorado, and most 2-day co-ops that I know, they're actually academic co-ops. So they're doing curriculum there 2 days a week, and then you do the curriculum at home on the other 3 days. And that could be really great. Those types of co-ops are absolutely fantastic for working moms. And yeah, so okay.
Yeah. Cindy says, I will join. I'm a creator here on TikTok too. Would love to connect. So
Oh my goodness, Cindy, you're a creator? Okay, email me. I want to find your page. Yay!
And somebody asked,
Creator life can get a little bit lonely, can't it? A little bit sometimes.
Heather asked, can I have the link? And so
it's in my bio, you guys. Yeah, just go to my bio, and that's how you can join the group.
Or you can find the Amazon page too.
Oh, is she asking about the Amazon page?
Sure which
okay. One. Or you can just go to also my link in my bio, and there's a button there that says my Amazon page. So everything is in my bio. We make it pretty easy and clear. Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Lee, I just started homeschooling because we were moving east to West Coast and want to stop and see stuff.
Oh, Lee, that's fantastic. Tell me one of your highlights. What have you stopped and seen? And then do you think you're loving the life and you're going to keep homeschooling after you kind of have moseyed through the country? I'd love to know.
We've got road schoolers in the group too.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we do. We have road schoolers in the group. And we have quite a few homesteader homeschool moms in my group. Yay for living books. I know. That's how I teach history, you guys. My kids have so I have a master's degree in history, and my kids have never opened a history textbook, and I don't ever intend them to do so. Yeah.
Sabrina asks, I'm struggling because we love homeschooling, but I'm also working from home and I can't juggle it all.
Okay, Sabrina. Okay, I have more questions than answers, but I totally feel your pain. I work full-time myself, but my hours are pretty flexible. Like, I wake up before my kids and start working and that type of thing. I feel you. I know. It's hard. I would love, the first thing that I would ask you is, and what I would probably advise you to do, is make curriculum changes and sign up for some live online classes, for example, so you can start delegating some of the subjects. It's been my ticket as a working homeschool mom, is I will only buy open and go curriculum, period. If they make me lesson plan, they have not earned my money. And then I also utilize live online homeschool academies. And that's been wonderful. So I completely outsource writing instruction, and I completely outsource foreign language. And I'm still on top of it. I choose the teacher. I've chosen the curriculum, all of that. I'm still in the driver's seat. It's still homeschooling. But that's how I've kind of survived the working homeschool mom life. And I have 4 kids. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Instagram.
Yep.
Apparently Instagram likes me now. I don't know if you guys have checked my Instagram page, but I don't know. I all of a sudden became legit on Instagram. It's been fun. Although I will say, okay, you guys, just between us, I had a video go viral on Instagram, and dare I say, the TikTok commenters are nicer than the Instagram commenters. And then one of my friends was telling me that she knows somebody who went viral on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And by far the most vitriol that person got was on Facebook. Anyway, I'm glad I'm on TikTok. So, okay.
Lee asks, I want to know if teaching my kids my native language counts as foreign language credit.
Yes, it does. It does. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. In fact, it's going to look great on a transcript because you want your high school transcript you want your kid to be set apart, to look different, to not look all like the rest, to be really appealing. Oh, wow, how interesting. Look at this. Look at the foreign language this child has studied.
Jen Dunbar asks,
Hi,
so
Jen.
do you have to count your hours homeschooling there? You have to count your
Okay,
hours.
so Jen, each state in all 50 states each state has separate homeschooling laws. Now here's the thing, homeschooling is legal in all 50 states all the way through 12th grade, not a problem at all, very easy to do. Parents can do it in all the states. However, when it comes to some of those minute details, different states have different requirements. So for example, I am in a state, Colorado, where they tell me legally that I have to homeschool on average 4 hours a day for 172 days a year. Now, I do have to turn in the days that I homeschool, the 172, but I do not have to account for what I've done during those 4 hours. And by the way, those 4 hours don't need to be done each day. So if I go on an 8 hour field trip, I could take the next day off. Like it's kind of like an average. And by the way, when your kids are cooking, cleaning outside, PE people, like when you're on a hike, you would be amazed what is categorized as true learning. So people think learning is what is happening in the public schools. They think learning can only happen if your kid is sitting at a desk. That is not the case. In fact, it's a pretty lame environment to do all of your learning, having to sit there all day, every day. So it's actually really freeing, and you will find that there's no issues whatsoever filling your hours when you homeschool. Yeah.
Jen says, oh, I'm in Ontario, Canada, and it's not regulated at all here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Great.
Lee says, I was more nervous sending in the withdrawal notice to my son's school.
Oh, I know. It is pretty nerve-wracking, but you know what? Once you take the leap, then it's like, whoa, it's like a weight is lifted, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Yay!
had a question about
All these new homeschool moms, you don't have to join my group, but look at my group and see how I can help you. My entire calling in life is to nurture you, feed you, equip you, build up your confidence. So if you're a mom who questions herself and is like, am I going to mess up my kid? Or how do I make sure my kid's on track? Is how much socialization is the right amount of social? All these things. That is why I formed the group. I made a way to make my help and my 20 years of expertise extremely affordable. So go check it out. It's in my bio. Let's go on to questions.
Cindy asks, how many people are in the group? Is it lots of parents of different age
It's
children?
all parents. Yeah.
And
all parents.
Of different age children.
Oh, different ages. Yeah. In fact, I even have a high school mentor in there. So I have a staff of mentors. Just go and check it out. And you can kind of see everything that I offer. We have an entire Zoom, one per month, that's just dedicated to teens, so moms of teens. And I have a mentor in there who's checking the threads every day. You can even DM her personally or me. I worked with teens primarily for the majority of my career when I taught too. So yeah, teens, absolutely. And the Zoom this week on teens, we went all over. I don't know why I still have the file here. We went all over how to make a homeschool high school transcript. Yeah.
And the one this week's going to be pretty awesome too.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. And this Wednesday on the 1st, I'm doing a workshop on finding your why, which is going to be an amazing workshop. I'm so excited for it.
Yep.
All right, do we have more?
How do I handle how cell phones and social media? I'm having trouble keeping her off the phone.
I am so sorry. I have not read this book, and I think it might be a faith-based book, but it's on my list to read. So none of my kids have cell phones. But most of my kids' friends do. So, but there is a book called Screen Time Kids that you might want to check out. I don't know.
Yep. Let's see.
Hold on one second.
Cindy says, the group looks wonderful. My son is in first. Would I fit in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have preschool. So, for example, once a month, I have a week of office hours, and we split it up by age groups. You can come to all 4 office hours, but you can also come just to the one that fits your kids' ages. So, for example, we have a one whole Zoom that's just for preschool to second. So this is 3-year-olds, right, to about 7-year-olds. And then we have another Zoom that is 2nd grade to 6th grade. We call that elementary office hours. Then we have teen office hours. And then I always make sure that I accommodate the working homeschool moms because I am one myself. And we have a nighttime Zoom for office hours, and that's for all ages. So, because here's the thing, when we're talking about high school transcripts, like we did in my teen office hours, just the month prior, we had a 20-minute conversation in the littles Zoom on pencil grip. And it's like a mom of a high schooler who's struggling with like what this lady in here is tonight with screen time. How do I control screen time? Or a lot of questions regarding motivation. My kid's not motivated, right? We just got to separate them a little bit so that no one feels like their time is wasted. So the way I've solved that is just more Zooms. Yeah, I do 7 Zooms a month in my membership, and that's not even everything that I offer. So yeah. Okay, let's go on to, I don't know if I answered, but the door was tapping and I wanted to, do I need to revisit the mom with the cell phone, the daughter cell phone?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sorry. One of my kids was tapping on the door. So, okay. Here's the thing about cell phones and social media is that they are dangerous. So they should be, this is my opinion, that they should be viewed as very dangerous objects and items. And there should be a lot of restrictions. Now, this is why I'm saying a lot of restrictions. I'm saying this because of brain development. I understand the brain development and that kids their frontal lobes are not fully developed yet, and they do not have the ability to stop themselves. This is why video game addiction is so bad among young people. So anyway, but there are some circumstances where kids just need to have phones, maybe earlier than you want them to have phones. And I totally get it. It's for each family to decide. And I also think each kid in your family can have different maturity levels and abilities to be able to handle a phone or not handle a phone. But at the same time, social media is so dangerous and scary. There's so much teen suicide that's just from bullying. And there was a kid recently, anyway, so they are dangerous, and they do need to have, there needs to be control so that there's not an addiction there. The other thing that really bothers me about social media with teens and younger kids is that it feeds more of the peer orientation that is so unhealthy. We're already having to fight this peer orientation. If you don't know what peer orientation is, grab the book that's called Hold On to Your Kids. It's a phenomenal book. It's not a homeschooling book. It's a doctor and a psychologist who wrote it together. And they talk about this phenomenon of peer orientation, and it's the reason why we're losing our kids so early. It's the reason why they're not listening to us anymore, and they don't really care what we have to say because the people that matter to them most are their friends. And that's where they're going to seek approval. And it wasn't always that way throughout history, right? And basically they make the argument that kids should not be raising kids. They're not mature enough. They cannot unconditionally love your child. And it happens just under our noses, and we don't even realize it because it's so normal in society. Don't take my word for it. Go ahead and grab that book. It's very well researched. And yeah. So, but the cell phones are tough. Yeah.
Grandparents are certain I'm messing up their chances for college. How do I ease their concern?
Yes. Okay. Grandparents are certain that you're messing up your kids' chances for college. 1, I'm so sorry. And 2, I'm going to be here to tell you that you are not. I wish you were at the Zoom just 2 days ago where we went over college transcripts for homeschoolers. Colleges are recruiting homeschoolers. Homeschoolers complete college at a higher rate than non-homeschoolers. And homeschoolers are more socially resilient when they are there because they have a level of social maturity that kids who have graduated from conventional schools do not have. I can repeat that. You're like, wait, what did she say? Did she just say that homeschoolers are better socialized going into college? I absolutely did say that because kids who are graduating high school have lived in a complete subculture of age segregation for 13 years, but homeschoolers haven't. Homeschoolers have been living their lives with their parents outside, not confined to an age segregated classroom where they only know how to associate with other 16-year-olds or other 17-year-olds. So, anyway, the statistics are not on your in-laws. Was it in-laws or her parents?
Grandparents.
Yeah, the grandparents. They are not on their side. So you might want to present them with some of the statistics. And then when my book comes out, my book will help them. So, but I can't tell you anything because it's top secret. But I do have a book. This is what I'm allowed to say. I have a book on the topic of homeschooling coming out in 2024. Oh my goodness, Cindy! Cindy just joined. Yay! I didn't realize they're popping in my phone. I forgot to silence my phone before coming. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Ask me any questions you have about homeschooling. I am here for you tonight, and ask it because I am here.
Masael says hi.
Hi, Masael. Yay.
Stacy.
Oh, are you pre-ordering my book? Oh my goodness, Masael. You're so sweet. Thank you, Twin Mama Bear. You guys are sweet. Twin Mama Bear's in my group. Kayla's in my group. Masael's in my group.
Angie asked for what?
Shit, why don't you guys share, since you guys are here, so I don't have to answer all the questions. If anybody asks questions about the group, because I want to get to homeschooling questions, you can go ahead and feel free to answer and like say, do you like the office hours or do you like what goes on in there? Okay.
Cindy just said, I joined. Looking forward to it.
Oh, Cindy, I can't wait to meet you.
Okay, so we have Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
What's the biggest hurdle to homeschooling?
The hurdle, so I'm assuming this question is the hurdle to, meaning how do you take the leap? The biggest hurdle to homeschooling, I think, statistically, is socialization. People's concerns about socialization. Were you asking that, or were you asking something else?
Said yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think statistically that is the biggest concern that people have. It's actually a myth because homeschoolers, statistically, 87% of peer-reviewed studies show that homeschoolers are healthier socially, psychologically, and emotionally. So we look different. Yes, homeschoolers look different. They present different often than their public schooled counterparts, but that does not indicate a lack of healthy socialization, right? In fact, it could indicate healthier socialization. Yeah.
Elizabeth says,
hi, Elizabeth.
Military family just started homeschooling. What are some good resources for ADHD children? And B. Kayla says, military family here too.
Oh, yes, that's right. You guys should connect on here. Like figure out each other's usernames or something. Best resources for ADHD?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, in terms of ADHD, it's not necessarily, I don't know your kid's profile and I have not read your child's IEP. Okay. So with that said, with me not knowing you, I'm going to tell you that it's more about how you teach your child who has ADHD and how you parent that child with ADHD. And it has less to do with the curriculum that you've chosen. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Myrna Hernandez says...
Which you can do a better job than the schools, by the way.
Totally.
Yeah. Like blindfolded. Are you kidding?
Myrna says, how do I start homeschooling? And how do the kids in homeschool get passing grades?
Okay. This is Masael? Myrna. How do you start homeschooling? You grab my free, who's saying hi to me? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Jen.
You grab my free 26-page How to Homeschool guide. It's totally free. Grab it now. Okay. That's how to start homeschooling. And then her second question was,
how do the kids in homeschool get passing grades?
Yeah, we don't have to grade them. In fact, that's the beauty. Grades are something that that system in our schools is a pretty toxic system. And by the way, I'm not saying that as someone who's not academic. In fact, I am probably the most academic homeschooler of all my friends, but I don't give grades because I'm sitting right there and I know if my kid understands it or not. and I know if we need another day or not. So I do give tests to my kids to practice. I also give standardized tests to my kids because that's going to be part of their real life. And they're going to have to know how to take those tests. But taking standardized tests is a completely different skill set than school. So it depends on your state laws. You have to make sure that you're always homeschooling legally. But I don't know of any states, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, I don't know of any states that make you turn in like A, B, C, D. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. There's 50 states, and so I don't know the intricate homeschooling laws of each state. I know sweeping laws. I know some of the states that are a little bit more difficult to homeschool than others, but it's legal in all 50 states. Yes.
This is funny. Bat, Burrow, and Patch. My 9-year-old calls grades arbitrary letters from arbitrary grown-ups.
Yeah. Arbitrary letters from arbitrary grown-ups.
So
yeah,
funny.
but by the way, I don't want you to feel, I don't want you to take my answer as condescending in any way. I really don't mean that, because I know your question. It's an honest question, because what we think is that grades are the only way if we know if our kids are doing okay, right? And that could be the case perhaps in school when it's a huge classroom of 30 kids. But when it's you and your one kid, or I have 4 kids, me and my 4 kids, we're together just learning. I know them. I know if they're behind in what I want them to be doing. I know if they're, you know what I mean? So it's very freeing. I followed up with that to excite you about it, that you can be free of grades, but it does not mean that you're all of a sudden not a serious homeschooler by any stretch.
Proverbs 31 wife says, if you don't grade them, how will they handle college? My kids stress, but I don't want them used to not having grades.
Yeah. So grades. So when you have, I love this. This is such a good question, and I'm so glad you're here tonight. If I don't give them grades, how do they handle college? Well, on a homeschool high school transcript, you do have to apply grades. Okay, you do have to. And of course, homeschoolers have to take all the same standardized tests that other public school and private school kids have to take to get into college. Most homeschoolers, by the time they get to college, they think it's really easy because their orientation to school is very different. And most homeschoolers, by the time they get to college, thoroughly enjoy learning. And so they're putting a lot of effort into their studies. And so the grades naturally come. It's not like you have to have 13 years of practice getting graded to be able to go to college. You can learn you know what I mean? And my kids, even though I don't give them like report card grades, they know what an ABCD is. They know that. And sometimes they're like, if I was graded, what would I get on this? And I say, oh, you'd get, that's probably, I don't know, you didn't do that great. You'd do a B, but redo those. So here's the other thing is that a lot of homeschoolers teach to mastery. So all of our grades would be A's because we teach to mastery. So we don't move on. I don't move on a math chapter until my kid understands it. So my kids would be getting all A's.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Over on Instagram.
Hi, Bonnie on Instagram. Yay, Instagram decided to like me.
I've been homeschooling for almost 2 years, and I'm still adapting it. And my question is, how does scheduling work? I mean, sometimes I feel like we have to do it 9 to 3.
Yes.
And she's like, I'm about 2 years into homeschooling, and I feel like we still have the public school schedule system.
Okay, Bonnie, I want you in my group. Bonnie. Okay. But I'm going to answer you now. You don't have to join my group. I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so I know where you are. I was you. I get it. So one, I'm curious what curriculum you're using that's having you work that many hours in the day. And there are lots of different ways to schedule your homeschool day. You can do a loop schedule, a block schedule, a day of the week schedule, okay? And I know it's so hard to break out of that mentality, but actually kids they'll perform better if they're not worked to the bone. They really will. And so would I love to sit down and have coffee with you and look at all your curriculum and tell you, okay, cut this, do this instead. that type of a thing. Do this next year and do that, whatever. But I love that you're asking this question because I have a sense that you're feeling like you've left the confines of public school, but you've recreated something just as confining. That's what I sense you're feeling. And you can be free of that. Yes.
She gathers over on YouTube. Our daughter will be doing dual enrollment. 16 years old,
Yes.
will graduate with an associate's at 18. So excited.
I love it. Yes. Someone just was mentioning how her 16-year-old daughter is in dual enrollment. And by the time she graduates high school, we'll have her AA. So that also can answer the question from the person who was like, how they're prepared for college with grades if you don't give them grades? Well, high schoolers get grades. And we also do a lot of dual enrollment.
Proverbs 31 wife has another question
Yes,
about
and
scheduling. We'll get to it. And then
yes.
Brittany also has a great question about unschooling. But first, we're going to go to TTC Gifts. I want to homeschool next year in kindergarten, but it seems overwhelming.
Kindergarten is so fun to homeschool, and it's absolutely wonderful. You can do it in an hour per day. You can do it. Yeah. And let's go back to those other ones.
Brittany. My kids are unschooling, and sometimes I'm terrified they aren't learning enough.
Yes. So your kids are unschooling and you're terrified that you aren't learning enough. So go back to, if this is philosophically what you want to do, totally support you. I love all homeschooling styles. Get back to Peter Gray. Get back to Connor Boyack, okay? Get back into those books so that you can philosophically have that confidence that you are doing the right thing.
Andrea, I have 3 atypical children who I want to homeschool, but I'm afraid to fail and to let go of the IEP.
Yes, so we are all afraid to fail. This is why I have my workshop on Wednesday is finding your why, because ultimately moms' minds are going to be blown like, of course I'm the only one that can do this. So, and you're mentioning that your kids have diagnoses and you're afraid to let go of you're welcome, Brittany. Yeah, I want to make sure I got all of your questions answered, okay? If I ever answer a question not to your satisfaction, don't give up on me. Get back into those comments and ask for clarification, because this is why I'm here. I want to be here tonight and I want to be helping you guys for free. So that's why I'm here. I want to go back to she's afraid of giving up the IEP.
Yes.
Yes. So I have a playlist on my page that's titled Special Needs. I want you to go and watch those videos and then also listen to what I'm about to tell you. So I have read thousands of IEPs. This is what we did for a living, is we took care of the problems that the public schools couldn't solve. And when you look at those accommodations on those IEPs, you will find you can do probably every single one of those. Your kid needs extra time. All right. Your kid needs noise canceling headphones. Okay. Your kid needs frequent snacks, frequent breaks, maybe sitting on a bouncy ball, whatever. Okay, no problem. With the one exception is that what you cannot provide is the therapies, right? Speech therapy, occupational therapy, and that type of thing. Have no fear at all. Do we have any moms in here who are homeschooling their kid who was on an IEP? Because I'd love for you to comment to encourage this mom, because my group is full of so many moms, and the reason why they're homeschooling is because of their child's special needs. Please heart and encourage this mama. It is scary because our society has taught us that somehow the people in the school system are experts, and somehow they know stuff that we don't about our kids. And there is nothing that they know more than you. And those IEPs are not rocket science. Yes, there's the very complicated language in the beginning of it about how, the tested this, whatever, brain, all that. At the end of the day, the back page are the accommodations that you can do yourself so easily and in less time, and your kid won't have to live that shame lifestyle of being in special ed. So I have a sister who is severely learning disabled. Look, I lost a nail. We don't care. My sister, severe diagnoses. My mom wishes she knew that she could have homeschooled us. us for different reasons. Her because of her special needs, and me because of just my high introversion and yeah, and stuff like that. So, and academics as well. So, be encouraged.
Cheskoa over on Instagram. How do you handle random family comments? Are they never going back into school? Our girls do virtual charter. Once we
Yes.
pulled our girls out, they did so much better, learning less stress, more flexibility.
Yes. So, the one thing that I want to say is that's rude. Right? That's like telling someone like, "Are you ever going to stop eating that? You're overeating." Like, it's rude. Okay? So, it's okay to set boundaries when people are saying rude things to you. I don't know why people think that they can cross those boundaries with homeschool moms. I don't know why, but it's pretty common. And having a really great answer for why you have chosen homeschooling is a wonderful thing to just have in your back pocket and to have memorized. The other thing too is setting boundaries. Like having a pause, like, excuse me? When someone says something rude to you like that, you go, excuse me? You can pause. You can repeat back what they have said so that they hear the rude thing that they said. And then at the end of the day, if they're not going to keep laying in, I have people in my life that just keep laying it in. You can just set a boundary. Like, I think that homeschooling is going to be off limits now for our conversations. Or you can say, I appreciate your point of view. I see things differently. So this is probably not something that we should talk about anymore. And you don't have to be mean, but you can just set that boundary, especially if they're not going to be teachable, especially if they're just making a snide remark to be insulting.
Yeah. Great.
I love that, Brittany.
Oh, Andrea, thank you so much. Your words brought me to tears.
Oh, yes, Andrea. Oh,
that's so sweet.
I'm so glad you're here tonight. Yay.
Oh.
Who else is here tonight? Who are you? Tell me about you and your kids. Ask me questions about homeschooling.
Stacy, I think Stacy Marie. Christy is amazing. She's very knowledgeable.
Oh, you're so. Who said that?
That's Stacy Stanley. I don't know.
No, Stacy. The other Stacy is
Frappe.
Twin Mama Bear. I don't want to say last names.
Stacy Stanton. Yeah.
No, she's Twin Mama Bear.
Well, it's on here too.
Okay. Are you two people, Stacy? I don't think so.
Christine Lim, do you have a classroom setting at home?
No. No, I do not.
Kendra's on here.
Hi, Kendra.
Let's see here.
Do you guys? This is my classroom setting.
My 14-year-old was failing even with an IEP, and he has prospered coming home.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Her 14-year-old was really struggling, and she's brought him home, and now he's thriving. I'm so happy to hear that. Yay! Double tap for that brave mama. Yay!
Hilltop Homestead. It's our first year of homeschool, but they still have their IEPs, and they didn't automatically take it. I don't know.
Okay. I wonder if you're doing an online, are you doing an accredited online program? Maybe she is.
Yeah.
Where that stuff still matters.
Kendra's here.
I saw Kendra in there. She said hi.
My daughter's...
I love that I know these people now. Isn't that fun?
It is fun. My daughter's school didn't know where she was for over 20 minutes. Thinking of homeschooling or private. This is Lucky Charms.
Oh my goodness, Lucky Charms. Okay. One, that's absolutely unacceptable, but you'd be surprised how often this happens and then you're never even told. But if you're curious about homeschooling, I have a 26-page free How to Homeschool guide. It's free. Go grab it. And that'll kind of give you like the idea of what it looks like and how to start.
Yep. Okay, so there's struggling over on YouTube, Afro Shadow, struggling to teach my 5-year-old to read. Any tips or strategies you could ask? And somebody else, Elizabeth over on TikTok, also asked, what's a great way to teach a child to read?
Okay. So the number one best way to teach a child to read is to make sure they're ready to read. Because often we start teaching kids to read too early and they're cognitively not ready. Just because a kid turns 5 does not mean they're cognitively ready to learn to read. And what was the question? Besides that?
Tips, curriculum, tips.
Yeah. Okay. So when you're teaching a child to read, you want to make sure that you're using an Orton Gillingham-based program, which is basically just a phonics-based program. So the ones that I like in the homeschool space are All About Reading, Logic of English, Pinwheels. Barton is a great one for remediation, actually. Another great one for remediation is Linda Mood Bell. So I just gave you 6. All of those, like they pass my tests, and if your child is not ready to read, if you're tearing your hair out because it's just not clicking, put it down and pick it up in 6 months. Seriously, don't sweat it.
Okay.
That's been me. I've been in education for 20 years, and one of my kids at 5 sat the kid down, could not do it. They could do the phonics sound, but then no blending, none at all. Like the brain was literally not there yet. Put it down. I picked it up in 6 months. Boom, like nothing. In the meantime, you can do fun phonics program like Hooked on Phonics, Reading Eggs. You can do those types of things in the meantime, just for fun play, and then pick it up again. Pick up a curriculum again later.
Katie says, I've been popping in and out, homeschool mom to 3 boys here.
Hi, Katie.
Any advice for starting high school transcripts? Was just going to start with a Google sheet.
Oh my goodness. Katie, we were in office hours this past week. We literally were putting high school transcripts on the screen and talking through the high school transcripts. So very simple to do. The first time that you're doing it, you're going to need some guidance. Just mainly the guidance is to reassure you, like, is it really this easy? Yes, it really is kind of that easy. And there's lots of people out there that coach you too. You can pay people money to coach you for the first time you're doing transcripts. But a great place to go first, I would go to HSLDA. There's like downloadable templates and all that type of thing. So, okay. Yeah.
Vacation with me says, I have a 15-year-old son getting in trouble at school, thinking about homeschooling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Grab my free guide. It's 26 pages and it's free. Just grab that and see how you would start.
Yeah.
Yes.
It needs more support.
Yep. Yeah, and if you do decide to homeschool and because your kid is a little bit older, do consider joining my group, because pulling a kid out of school after they've been in school the whole time, it presents some challenges. So we have a special space for you guys in my community. So do join that. I would just ask that you consider that if you do decide to homeschool in the fall. If you guys have any questions about my community, ask tonight too.
Yep. Lena says, just started homeschooling 3 weeks ago. My 3rd grader. She needs more repetition.
Oh, good. Yay! Double taps for a mama who just started. How do I join? You go right to my link tree and you can read all about my community in my link tree. I even have my bio, so you know my credentials. I don't want you guys to, oh, look at all those hearts for the new homeschool mama. Yay. So my community is not a social club. I just want you to know that. That's not what it is. It's where like pretty serious homeschool and academic advising, which is what I did for my career, just not for homeschooling, meets finding your people and your community and your confidence. So my entire calling, my professional calling, is to feed you, to nurture you, to build confidence in you. I love it. I wake up every day and I cannot believe that I get to do this. I spent my entire career teaching teachers. I'm still doing that. I'm just teaching you. So go into my link tree and just read the description of what my group is to see if it would be a fit for you. But it's pretty incredible.
Coffee Cake asks, how soon do you start? Like preschool?
Yeah, I started my kids at 3. I did a very gentle, play-based preschool. You don't even need a curriculum, but it's nice to do early phonics sounds and early counting. And there are preschool curricula that you can buy too. Yeah, but I mean, we're talking like 45 minutes a day and then outside playing. Like, it's preschool. Your kids shouldn't be doing serious academics that young. They've done research on that. That's unhealthy for them.
that Cal Teacher Life over on Instagram. I'm a full-time teacher and a homeschool mom, and I love that you taught too at one point.
Yes, we should be friends. Yes, I've been in education for 20 years.
Kimmy the Diva. My kid is 2 and I'm embarking on this homeschooling journey and I want to know what I should prepare for. Beginner's advice.
Yes, so beginner's advice, your child is only 2. I would spend the next 2 years reading up on the different homeschooling styles to see what resonates with you. Because once you have a pretty good idea of your style, it's a lot easier to choose curriculum.
Yeah. Great. And then this Ches Kojas. So glad I found your page. It was a huge aha moment and validation that there is a community out there. Thank you for putting a voice to these important topics.
Oh, you are so sweet. Who is that said that?
Over on Instagram, Ches Kojas.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Great. Oh, there's a Al over on Instagram. Father here, looking to homeschool my 4-year-old daughter.
Al. We have 2 dads in my group.
Get in here, Al.
Get in there, Al.
We'll help you.
Seriously, they hang out. You're looking at one of them, and then there's another dad. Are you here, Tyler? Are you here tonight? They're actually, well, I'm married to one of them, and the other dad is super cool. He's a road schooler. So I don't think dads, talk about feeling lonely. The homeschool dad. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Emily's says, do you think there's any purpose in doing gifted screening for homeschoolers?
No, I don't.
Oh, this is a great question. Lee asks, my husband asked if there's a way to incorporate his mechanics and HVAC background into homeschool.
Yes, 1,000%.
Heck
yes,
yeah.
That's so exciting. We get to customize our kids' education. Yes.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, we're about an hour here.
Okay, couple more questions, guys.
That Chis Koha says Amy from Pennsylvania is who was over on Instagram.
Okay.
So sweet.
Oh, Amy, thank you so much.
Al says, nice, I'll be the 3rd dad.
Seriously, Al.
We'll see you in there, Al.
Yeah.
Kimmy the Diva, where can I...
You guys can do like a monthly Zoom where you just are commiserate. I do want more dads in there because homeschooling dads are awesome.
Kimmy the Diva, where can I look at statistics on homeschool kids' progress over public school?
Yes, so I would start at NARI, and someone can write it in here. Yeah. Stolen adoptee. I'll bring my husband. Seriously, I'm serious. There needs to be like a dad's club. If we get enough dads, maybe Scott will do one Zoom a month. Just
yeah.
Would you do that?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. The dad Zoom.
Love it.
You know what? And why does it have to be like what if it's dads not only like that are primarily homeschooling, but like you and me, we share it.
Right.
It can be also like the dads who share the homeschooling. Because Scott and I both work full time, so we share it. Like I'm math. Don't laugh. Yeah, math.
Oh my goodness. Somebody said, can you recommend books I can read to learn more about homeschooling? First time mom to
yes.
to a 3-week-old.
Oh my goodness. Can we just stop for a minute and have her snuggle and hug and smush the cute little baby? You have a 3-week-old?
Watermelon kiwi.
Oh, watermelon kiwi. First, congratulations on your baby. And go to in my link tree, there's a button that says my Amazon page. Now, you don't have to buy the books like with my link. I put it there so that I basically had like an index of books for parents to see. So there are some homeschooling books in there for parents, and just grab some of those. I know. Little sweet 3-week-old. I just can't. Oh.
The Neri. I can't type it in Instagram. Can you spell Neri?
Oh, NHERI for Neri.
Yep, that's for Kimmy. Vidiva.
Yeah, that's a really great place to start for homeschooling statistics.
Great. Okay.
Any other questions, you guys?
My husband struggled in school and felt guilt from teachers taking away from the rest of the class.
Oh. Are you a homeschooler now? Is she one of the ones that's homeschooling now?
I think she is.
Okay. Yeah. And my kids don't struggle, but once they are done with their tasks, they want to move on. Yeah. Yes. Mima Hernandez, you're so welcome.
Does your group help with state reporting?
No, we do not help with state reporting because it's 50 different states. So the best place to start is HSLDA, and they help you. They help you with everything that you need, and it's not hard to homeschool legally. You have to homeschool legally, but it's not a crazy scary thing at all.
B. Olson says co-ops you would recommend?
Yeah, really any co-op that fits your schedule and your lifestyle and your philosophy. So if you're, what I will say is if you resonate with the unschooling life, you probably wouldn't like a classical conversations co-op, right? Because that's completely classical. So, but yes, I love co-ops, and you can try them out. There, I've been in co-ops that were a great fit for me. I've been in co-ops that are not a fit. So it all depends.
Oh, Mad Mama of 4. Do you know of a good online high school program? Just saw you went live.
Yes. Oh, hi. Yeah, there are quite a few fantastic high school programs. I would look at True North Homeschool Academy, Scholay Academy. I would look at Sora, Sora Academy. So, oh, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. I can't wait to meet you. Those are the three that I would recommend off the top of my head. I would avoid the ones that are just replicating public school at home. Those tend to be super dry and boring and awful. We did those. So at our center, we ran a homeschool, and there were parents who required us to use an accredited online academy to educate their kids, and it was awful.
Lucky Charms says, my daughter was just diagnosed with ASD, OCD, ADHD, and anxiety. Does your book give advice on this?
My book is not out yet, and I cannot tell you the contents of my book, but I think, can I tell her no, my book is not on special needs. The topic of my book is not special needs.
But in the group?
Yeah. But in the group, we talk a lot about that. So many moms in the group have kids who have special needs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What made you decide to homeschool, says Coffee Cake.
Oh, Coffee Cake. Okay. All right. I had an awakening moment. I had a moment like where the scales were lifted, because my entire career was supporting the system, and I kind of just had an epiphany where I was like, what are we doing? Are these kids happy? Are we actually helping? Do any of these kids love learning? They're gone all day, and then they're at our center all night. And these kids struggle. And shouldn't they be out playing and pursuing their amazing talents rather than constantly being forced to work on what they struggle in? And I just started to just one by one just not buy it anymore. Just like, and then I saw some people speak, and I read some books, and it was like, what? There's different pedagogies? There's different styles? What? And I was like, what's classical? What's Charlotte Mason? What's unschooling? And I just couldn't even, it blew my mind that there was something else, that there were other things, that parents could actually choose how their kids were educated. And then when you start reading those books, you realize that a huge pursuit for so many of these thinkers and these thought leaders is, how do we cultivate a love for learning in children? And that's really what many of those other styles are after, is how do we properly equip the mind to be ready for this world, to be able to think critically, but how do we also not squelch a love of learning? So our system right now, this factory style of education that our kids are in right now, it it causes competitiveness. It causes it causes perfectionism. There's a lot of terrible things that grading systems, for example, cause, and pinning kids up against each other, and this and that and the other. And I'm not a wooey mom. Like, I'm a highly academic homeschooler. But I just don't buy it anymore. And so my kids read we have crazy advanced conversations, Socratic discussions. They're reading very advanced things. But I'm not sitting there like grading every little thing or saying like, what did Huck Finn say to his, like, who cares what Huck Finn said? Like, let's talk about the big ideas in the book. Like these stupid, anyway. Yeah, I feel like there's just so much busy work. I kind of rambled.
You did.
With that.
That's
okay.
Mamas
Okay.
in Duedas, which is on Instagram. I just took my kids out of school this January, 4 and 6 years old.
Okay.
Do you recommend any curriculum for a beginner mom?
I do, but I would like to get to know you more, to know I have all these questions first. Like, are you faith-based or are you secular? Do your kids have any particular learning diagnoses or not? But this is what I will say. I will say, try to avoid doing a program that's public school at home. So like, I'm just going to say it, like, don't buy something like K-12. You'll hate it. People last all of 2 days on something like K-12. So because the world is now open to you to educate your kids in pretty amazing ways, and they're not going to be behind at all. They're going to be, in fact, better prepared for college. So, and consider joining my group so that I can get to know you, and then you can post. So in the group, we have threads, and you can post like, hey, I'm looking for a faith-based curriculum for this, or you can say, hey, I'm looking for a secular curriculum for this, and we all help each other, and we tell each other what we liked and didn't like, and we can go back and forth with the discussions. So part of my group is a really great feed where you can ask all of your questions. You can DM me in my group, all sorts of things. We have workshops. We have a Finding Your Why live workshop Wednesday night. Tomorrow night we have a bunko party. That's just fun. Anyway, if you're interested in my group at all, go to my link tree. Read a lot of that. Read a lot of the stuff on the group before you join, so that you know what you would be buying. Because this is not I'm not running a social club. It's like it's a true blue mentoring group.
Proverbs Family Homestead.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're still here, Proverbs.
My 2 youngest kids are 13 and 11.
Yes.
Is it too difficult to start homeschooling?
No, it is not, girl. No. It's the most important time to homeschool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we end with that?
Maybe. Yeah,
Are there more?
There's lots of good questions.
Okay, more questions?
Maybe just a couple more.
Okay.
Kayla.
Let's wait. Is the kitchen clean? If the kitchen's not clean, then we're staying.
We have homeschooled 3 years, and we are missing the love for learning tips.
Oh, okay. My first suggestion is I would want to know what you're doing, and I would help you to try to mix it up. Like, to take a break. I don't know what curriculum you're using. I wish I knew. Can you put it in here? Yeah. We can go on to another question, and she can put.
Oh, Marcel's so sweet. Just encouraging Proverbs Family to check out the group.
Marcel, yeah. You're so sweet. I love knowing you in there.
Okay. Great, yeah.
But yeah, I don't want, going back to the love of learning. I love, one, how amazing is it that you've recognized that and you want to make some changes? And
mixed.
So
She says mixed.
Oh, you're using mixed curriculum. Okay. Yeah. So you might need, I'm not giving you advice. I don't know you and I don't know your kids, but you might need a season of a little bit more interest-led learning for a minute. And asking your kids, what having them make some lists of things in their education so far that they've really loved and really enjoyed. And then taking those and then saying, for the next month, let's replicate these. Like, so if it was like a book that they loved, try to find another book that's very similar. Or when we went out and did this field trip on this, and try to do that again. Try to get that love back and figure out what each of your kids, what one of their best memories is of education, and really listen to them, and then try to incorporate those into your school days. And then you might need curriculum change ups. You might need to just scrap some stuff, right? Like, I've had seasons where I'm like, you know what, this semester, we're not doing history. We can do just history and math over the summer. We're not doing history. It's too much. Our day's getting too long. We're going to do the other subjects instead. We have the freedom to do that. And because most homeschool moms do homeschool year round, right? Because the summers are too hot to go out every day. And it's like, we don't always want to put our kids in summer camps. So anyway, you can, that's what I would love to hear from your kids, is what their best memories are with their learning. Was it an activity? Was it an artwork? Like I don't know if you're, maybe you could sign up for some online nature study classes or online art classes, and maybe you can have a season where, okay, maybe you're worried about getting behind in math. Okay, that's legitimate. But maybe you can just say, all right, you know what? For the next month, we're doing math, and then we're doing interest led. Like, I want you to tell me what you want to learn about. And let's start pursuing what you want to learn about. Sometimes just a season of interest-led learning is all you need, right? And then it helps you all regroup. Often we get burnt out. This is also the time of year that's really hard. In fact, in my group, the deliverable this month in my group is we're recommending that all the moms take a 1-week break from their curriculum and to do this really amazing book and activity guide instead, and doing this whole guide and then just math, because it is going to be just this rich, fun nature study, reading guide, recipe. It's just going to be this rich homeschooling experience just for 1 week, because it's just that time of year where we're all burnt out. And yeah, and that will be what, once I post that in the group and everybody in my group gets that free, we then post it for purchase on my website. So you don't have to be in my group to get that. You can also just buy it.
And
Yeah.
maybe we can wrap this up
Yes.
with Bonnie. I can say that since I started homeschooling, they talk more and more about my relationship with them, my kids, has gotten so close that they come and talk to me about anything because I try to make it a safe space.
What's her name?
Bonnie.
Bonnie. Wait, didn't Bonnie say something earlier?
She did.
Did I want to be best friends with her?
Yeah.
Earlier?
Yeah,
Bonnie, will you email me? I want to be best friends. I feel like we're kindred spirits in terms of that. In terms of our kids, us being a safe place for our kids and the connection. One of the reasons why I homeschool is I wanted to have that connection, a healthy connection with my kid, not an unhealthy, codependent connection, people. No, not that. But you know what? I'm the one that's in charge. Scott and I are the ones in charge of teaching them how to live in this world. And this world is a tough place. And I don't want them to be embarrassed to come to me with anything. And they do, like they'll come to me and say a friend said this, and it's a total normal thing that friends would say. And we're able to call out what that was. Oh, it sounds like your friend was manipulating you. What did you say to them back, or this or that, and help, if your kids can talk to you about anything, then your ability to guide them and parent them is so much more. And Bonnie, I bet I know you. I think I know you. Like, not for realsies, but like, I bet that you, part of what makes your kids feel so connected to you is that you also aren't perfect, right? Like, you apologize to them, I'm sure, when you've made a mistake or when you've lost control and you've blown it. So anyway, that's really, you've encouraged me tonight, Bonnie. Yay! Plus, I have an aunt named Bonnie, so now I'm going to remember your name.
And then, Lena says, I think that's why homeschooling is so hard right now, because I'm finding out so much about myself.
Who said that?
Lena.
Lena, girl, you know it. Like it is. Here's the thing about homeschooling. I think one of the hardest. I don't want to say downside. One of the hardest parts is that it forces you to face your stuff because it's smack in your face all day. I agree. I think that if this is me personally, if I sent my kids away for 7 hours a day, I'd probably overlook more and tolerate a lot more that I shouldn't. This is just me. I'm not speaking for other people. I know my own personality. I'd probably, because by that time of day, I'm tired. One thing I love about homeschooling is that my kids get the best of me. We get the best of each other. It's not the leftovers at the end of the day when everyone's exhausted, right? We actually are doing life together and learning together. And it's an incredible blessing. So I love you guys. Oh, you guys are so wonderful. So I think I'm going live tomorrow. And Tuesday I have Bunko, but I might go live before Bunko. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, I go live a lot. So you don't have to, I would love for you to consider my group, but I also make sure that I show up and offer my expertise for free for you guys because I know not everyone can afford to be in a community and I want to be able to help as many people as I can. This truly is my calling. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You can always email me. Unfortunately, I think I'm at a 2-week queue. Sorry, but I do email back. You will get an email back. It might not be for 2 weeks, but you will. And of course, you can message me in the group. I check those every day. And what else? Grab my free homeschool guide. What else do I do for free? The lives. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's enough. Love you guys. Have a great night.